Have you ever heard someone say something like this? As a bird flies, it's 3 miles from here to there. One thing they might be suggesting is that the walking distance might be different than the driving distance or the straight line distance, or some other way of thinking about distance. Or, in places like large cities, such a person might be suggesting that the quickest way to get from here to there isn't the same as the least confusing distance, or the least risky distance, or the least expensive distance. In this activity, you'll be dealing with situations where there are mountains and valleys. For example, here is a topographic map of the ski resort at Park City, Utah. In this map, notice that it may not be possible to go directly from A to B. You may need to go from A to some point P and then go from P to B, or the best path to get from A to B may not be the best path for getting from B to A. One way that you can see how topographic maps can be made is to look at these two skeleton diagrams. The figure on the left looks like a layer cake. But, if we tilt it so that its base is flat, then you can see the outlines of a topographic map. Or, we can flatten the cake, so that the outlines of the topographic map can be seen. Now, we can move the layer cake view back to see how it is similar to the wire grid figure on the right. Then, we can flatten the figure on the right to see the outlines of a topographic map. Soon, we'll not be looking at points on maps. Instead, we'll be looking at data points on graphs. But, we'll still need to be thinking about distances when we try to measure things like entality or spread, or when we try to find lines or curves that fit collections of data. When we are dealing with collections of data, distances between points may correspond to things like people's assessments of how friendly they feel toward others. Or, they may correspond to other characteristics or factors which are related to people, or to places, or to other subjects in statistical studies. But, for now, we'll investigate distances in less abstract situations that involve points on maps. But notice, even for points on maps, sensible ways of thinking about distances often have characteristics that are quite different than straight-line distances. Here are a few questions for you to answer about topographic maps. In this wire grid for a topographic map of a mountain, suppose that you knew that the heights of the red dots were 0 centimeters, 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, and 30 centimeters respectively. What is the approximate height of each of the blue dots?